Hey everybody, what's up? This is Devin LaVore and
LaVore
coming at you. Feeling a lot better.
Yeah, you're doing a lot better.
I think everybody's kind of on the upswing at this point.
Yes.
So good things.
Praise the Lord.
Was it last couple days have been a day off? Or no, not last couple days have been a day off.
Just yesterday.
Last couple days, God's been doing some pretty amazing stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And there's been some dreams. There's been some visions. There's been some prophetic words. But what we wanted to bring to you guys today was this prophetic word I got last night. It was amazing. Was it not amazing?
It was
amazing.
It was great.
We had an amazing day yesterday. It was awesome. 2 of our kids got baptized.
So awesome.
It was awesome, right?
Such a huge blessing. Like, both of them have... Joa got baptized last year in October.
October 1st.
October 1st. And the others were like, hey, we want to do it, but then they got too scared about going under the water. And then yesterday we got to go to the swimming pool, and we were just there.
And I was just like, hey, you guys,
if you want to get baptized, you should get baptized. And they were like,
and Annalise was like, oh my God, yes, let's do that.
And so she got baptized. She just did it, no problems. And then Elia, he was like, I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we baptized him too.
Well, because he's been talking about it for a while.
Yeah, he actually talked.
He really wanted to do it.
Yeah, I think really last week there was a particular God time, and he was just like, it was.
I want to get baptized.
I want to get baptized. I want to get baptized. And
I think it was that time when we were watching the Superbook, and Jesus got baptized by John.
Yeah.
And then he realized, like, oh, that's right, I haven't been baptized yet. I need to get baptized, and he's just been on it since then, you know. So at the end of the night, you know, we ended our God time with a little different kind of God time.
Yeah, it was
awesome. It was just the Spirit of the Lord was there, and we weren't doing like our normal structured God time. We were just letting worship play the whole time, and who wants to pray? And as the music was playing, I pulled out the Bible. I just read Psalm 139. It was just different, and everyone was into it.
Yeah.
You know, it was good to break up the routine, and it was just like, oh, that's awesome. And so at the end of the night, everyone's trying to sleep, I guess. And I'm at the computer. We had done like a little journal entry for ourselves. It was like 40 minutes long or something, just about all the cool stuff that's been going on, because we need to remember this stuff for ourselves. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just feeling this just presence of the Lord on me. And he's showing me, because we did a video about God's breaking the mold, and he showed me like that the mold, it was being pulled away, and that was really part of the dream that I had yesterday morning that had to do, it was a very significant dream about the mold and what it is and how it's being broken and all that. It was really awesome. And so the Lord showed me like this, it was like this statue inside the mold. And then he said to me, he was just like, you know what? He was like, Devin and Michelle, what you don't realize is that it's not about the mold being broken. Because we keep talking about it.
Yeah.
We keep talking about, yay, the mold's being broken. The mold, and the mold's in pieces, and the mold. And God was like, it's not about that. It's about what's inside of the mold. It's what the mold's going to reveal. And it's like that presence of God that was just on me. He was like, I just saw all this like light coming out of me. But it was weird because it was coming out of this statue that was made of bronze. Now, I didn't share that for like, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Because I didn't like what I saw.
Now, what did this statue look like?
I don't...
Was it kind of like a
It wasn't significant.
Or it wasn't significant?
It wasn't significant. It was just like a kind of a statue, you know, of this person, of a man, you know, and the Lord was basically saying, like, it's about the glory to be revealed when the mold is taken away. And God was like, trophies are made by molds, and we got into that conversation about like, it's no one ever remembers the mold that made the trophy. They just remember the trophy. And it's like, whoa, look at that trophy. Look at that prize. Look at that. You know what I mean? And, but I was like, all right, babe, I got to share this. That trophy was bronze. It was not gold. Because I'm expecting this gold shimmering thing. God's talking about glory.
Like an Oscar kind
but
of.
I was, and I was seeing it like this, well, what I saw was this glory coming from underneath this bronze thing, and I was just like, man, there's something really golden and glorious underneath there, but it's like covered in bronze. And I was like, oh, well, maybe God's gonna polish it and all that. And he was like, no, yeah. You're seeing correctly. It's bronze. And I was like, and then what did you get?
Yeah, well, immediately when Devin was saying that it was covered in bronze, and I could see he was like kind of concerned about that. Like, what does that mean?
I was like, well, he went through all of this, and we just got a bronze medal? Really? Like, we didn't even make a silver? I'm like, we really must have messed it up somewhere along the way. We got a little, what is it called? A consolation medal.
Yeah.
You know? I was like, but they do use bronze in the temple and all that. I was like, whatever. Michelle, what do you think?
And like immediately I thought of it's clothed in, it's really, the bronzes represent being clothed in humility.
Yeah.
And they're
and right away I was like, that's it.
Yeah, Rick Joyner, he had a book. What was it called?
It's The Final Quest.
The Final Quest. We've actually not finished reading it from like 10 years ago.
I've read that book many times.
But anyway, there's this part that really stuck out was where these people that were believers, it's like they received just all this glory from the Lord, but then
because they had gone through some stuff and they gotten to this certain level, and this certain level they got this golden glistening armor.
Yeah. But then what God did is he put basically a sack on top of it and covered that glory. And when he was talking with Rick Joyner, he said that's humility.
Well, he gave it to Rick Joyner.
Yeah.
Because this is what happened. They had gotten up there and they were just so amped up because, whoa, look at the level we have achieved, and look at where we've come in the Lord, and we're just shining and glistening with the Lord. And they look out and they see the enemy just putting people in bondage, and they're like, let's go fight him, come on, and they go jump off the mountain with this golden glorious ness. And then eventually what happens is they go and they get sucked into a camp, and they become the prisoners of the very thing they were trying to set people free from. And Rick Joyner, he stayed with the Lord. See, that's the thing, they took off from the Lord, and he stayed with the Lord, and he saw what happened to him, and he was like, oh man, like they were on a mountaintop, now they're in this valley of bondage. Like, what happened? And then that's when the Lord gave him this dirty, not dirty, but it's like this really, it's like a brown little apron type of thing to cover himself. He's like, here, cover yourself with this. And he's like, this is the cloak of humility. Mm-hmm. It's like, that's what they didn't have. They jumped off the mountain. They were like, yeah, we're anointed, and we're going to go bust some devils up. And then they got trapped. Yeah. They got caught up. They got knocked out. Mm-hmm. They got wrapped up in a bondage that they are trying to set other people free from. And the Lord was like, you need to wear this. Yeah. And so
basically
that's what you were remembering.
That's what I was remembering. Yeah. And I just felt like it was just like God's like, it's coated like on the outside. The inside is glorious. It's
because the inside was golden. That's why I was like, well, why is the outside bronze? This is not making sense. But
it's like it's clothed in humility.
Right.
And I just loved it because it was like as the mold was broken, it's like you're coming out with the humility. It's part of the mold that was made. And
what does that mean? It means you're not coming out of this mold with any kind of selfish ambition, any kind of, oh, you don't understand me, or you don't get this, let me defend myself. You're not coming out with any need for a reputation to be made. You're not coming out with any desire to build your name on your ministry and do your thing. You're not coming out with any kind of addictions or needs for ministry or identity or purpose or recognition.
And it's not,
you're not coming out with any of that.
And I think just beware, the fact is those things will come against you. Those things will stir up, but it's like you continue to just do what you've always done and humble yourself before the Lord, bring it to the Lord, and then it's like, all right, boom, like I don't need any of that. Because it is very true. You can't, it's like you don't want to be thinking that, oh, well, that I'm coming out this way, so nothing's going to ever bother me again. We have a sinful flesh and the sinful nature, which it says clearly in Scripture, you're always going to be at, those two are always going to be raging war. But I believe it's like what God has done, though, is He set the standard. He's like, look, this is who I've made you to be now. Now walk in that.
In humility. Yeah. Yeah, because you will get hit with that stuff. One of the things, I'm not really a big Michael W. Smith fan, and he lives here in Franklin. Anyway, but one of the most profound things I've ever heard him say was about his success, and people were talking to him about his success, because when he became successful, it was uncommon for a Christian to have the level of success that he had, and he was like, God gave me the grace to survive it. You know, because when you get into that successful place, there's just so much that comes at you, so much you have to deal with, and it's like, without God I would have been sucked in. You know, so it's like when God's breaking the mold, and I see this, I know there's this bright glowing light of glory and gold and translucent blessedness, but then it's covered with this bronze, and I'm like, oh, it's because God's gonna clothe what he's doing in you with humility. Otherwise it's just not gonna work. Rick Joyner said the glory of his armor was so bright he couldn't even see the Lord. And I was like, wow, why would you want to give that to somebody? And it's like, well, it's not complete. So it's like when we get our breakthrough or whatever it is, we get to that level where we finally receive the reward of the Lord and all that stuff. It's going to be, we're going to have to keep that apron of humility on. You know, the scripture talks about it. It says, every one of you clothe yourself in humility. And I could make an hour and a half long video on the value of that, because there's way too many times in relationships and ministry where it's, I'm up here and you're my little disciple and I'm teaching you and you're receiving from me, and some people can't break from those kinds of relationships. They can't. They always have to be the leader, they always have to be in charge, they always have to be the one with the greatest revelation in the room and all that, and it's just like, you know what, that's not humility.
No.
You know, and even if you can develop a relationship to a degree with those kind of people, it's always limited. It always has these nooks and crannies and certain rooms you can't enter into, and it's just always like that. But it's like what God is doing right now, the people that, you know, he's poured you in like liquid into the hot mold of affliction. You know, he's done that, and he's shaped you and he's formed you in the wilderness. But what he's doing is, what he's getting ready to do, he's peeling that mold away, and he's revealing the glory of what he's done in your life through the wilderness. And he's raising up a new breed of people right now where they don't care what their name is. They don't care if you know them. They don't care if you sow into their ministry or not. They don't care, because they are truly formed by the hand of God who formed Adam and Eve. And just, he's breathed life into us, and that's all we care about is him. Truly. And we've been tested, and it's been found true, and all that. And it's just like, I just see that, you know. There's a YouTuber right now, CHERYL Morris. She's amazing. I hope I'm saying her last name right. But she's new, and I don't think hardly anybody knows her. But man, some of the stuff that she says, every video she comes out with is just like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's something that you might hear from a big name ministry. But it's like, it doesn't matter. It comes from the Lord. We can't take something from the Lord and make it our own as if it's our own. And then build our little vendor stand of prophecy. Here, let me sell you a word from God. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh! Like, no, that's like Jesus is ready to turn over some tables with that kind of stuff. You know, like, I could go off on that, obviously, but anyway. But it's like, no, we're all gonna. Oh, and by the way, I would really strongly suggest anyone go check out her YouTube channel. I remember when SHELLY, when we first found her, she was averaging like 175, 200 views. You know, she had all these subscribers, but it was just like, why are people not actually listening to her? But whatever. And I was just like, man, look at her, man. She just keeps pumping it out and pumping it out and pumping it out. And now she's blowing it up. I mean, she is blowing it up, and then her subscriber count is kind of matching her viewership, and it's just like, people are really listening to her. And I'm just like, look at that. And then her business is taking off and all that. It's like, I just see that's what God's doing. He's peeling back the mold, and he's revealing a new breed of people all over the place. I said last year, I was like, gone are the days of the one name ministry that everyone flocks to for food. Oh, I'm a part of this person's ministry or that person's ministry. What? How about, are you a part of Jesus? Let him minister through you. Let him do what he's going to do through you. And some days he's not going to want to even do anything through you. He might just have you chill out with him, like he did with his disciples. It can't be about doing things and all that. And that's what he's done in this wilderness. It's breaking off every kind of captivity church mindset, every kind of thing that says you can't have this and you should be that. All of this. And out comes, you know what? Out comes what? The image of Jesus. Out comes a humble, empty vessel that can shine the light of God through them without contaminating it with selfishness, or selfish ambition. So we just wanted to share that because we just feel like that's what God was doing. And he was like, you guys have no idea. It's not about the mold. It's about the glory to be revealed on the inside. That's what's so important.
So that's just really what we received from the Lord last night, just about, not only is the mold, it's completely breaking off. I saw the picture of just things, it was just shattered. And but that it really is about what God is bringing out, and he is bringing out his people. Yes, it's you. I think that's, like you said, it was in the shape of a person. And it's like that's because that's who God is birthing, who he is bringing out is ourselves. And like I said, it's like being clothed in humility, and I just love that that's what God's done. Like through this whole process, he knows what he's doing. Oh my goodness, like he is so detailed oriented, and just so honestly, I feel like almost every day I'm just more and more in awe of just how amazing God is, and how he really just works things together for our good. And so it's just, I don't know, I just pray that you guys are receiving just how amazing God is. We spent this morning in prayer just thanking him. Thanking him for, the death of Christ, because that enables us to have a relationship with God, the creator of the world.
It's crazy.
We can talk to him.
It's crazy. It's and have this is insane.
Deep, intimate relationship with him. And so it's just completely amazing. And I just also, something from this morning, wanted to share, and I think that it's more than just for our family. It was while Devin was praying, he just really felt like God was saying, like, that there would just be the double, like you would receive double. And,
oh man.
You want to share kind of what?
Well, just the Lord just hit me. And oh man, it was heavy. It was heavy, and I almost cried. Because it was that intense. I just felt the Lord. I just felt, a lot of times you feel the heart of the Lord. That's what you're feeling. He's sharing his heart with you, literally, and you're feeling what he's feeling, and it's just like, oh man, you can take every dream house, supercar, everything that I would ever want in life. I trade it for that. To know the Lord like that, just to feel and to know him, and he was just saying, like, he said, I see every affliction, every hurt, every wound, everything that you've gone through. I see it, and I am going to heal it. Not only am I going to heal it, and I inside at that time when he told me this, I about cracked up, because he was like, not only that, but I am going to restore unto you double. And I was like, really? I was like, okay, but he was serious, but I guess he probably kind of cracked up because, anyway, how I was reacting to it, but I was still feeling it very heavy, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna say that, but it's like, it doesn't matter if it comes across cliche or not. If it's the Lord saying it, and he's saying it a million times through a million different people, I don't know, maybe God's saying something, you know what I'm saying? And he did. He was like, I am going to restore to you double. And when he said that, I got the sense that he was saying your whole life. It represented the whole life. It's like, you're going to have double. And I was like, dang, what does that look like? Because a lot of times we hear double and we're just thinking about our now situation. He's like, nah, I'm thinking about your whole life.
And I was reminded of the picture of Job, because it was a doubling of what he had, in in life. It was overall his entire life. And, you know, then
pre-disaster.
He was, afflicted, you know, sifted by Satan himself. Everything's taken away from him. And then God restores and gives him double. And I just, again, it's like this, you know, once God restored, he entered into a different time, a different era. And, you know, and I just think that is exactly what God is doing in our lives. He's saying, hey, I am not only going to heal and restore, but it's going to be double. And it's a lifelong. It's not just a one-time thing. Oh, yay, I got something, you know.
Yeah, because I think overall it will be double because, you know, I'm 46 years old and it's just, I could give you my life story and it could take forever. But it's like, that's what God was like, the twofold recompense represents your life.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, look at how your life's been. You're like 46 years old now, man. Look at how your life's been. And he wanted me to see my whole life in reference to like, look at just
from birth.
It's just been rough. It's been very, very difficult. And God's like, I've seen every second of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have no idea what's coming.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of times we can get caught up in the timing of things for right now in our now situation. God's like, I'm not thinking about that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I am, but I'm not only thinking about it like you guys tend to think about it. I'm thinking about everything at all times.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, for example, maybe by the end of this year, you could be receiving something that's like 100 times more in a particular area. Well, that goes along with that double restoration that he's talking about. In another area, 3 years from now, you could be receiving something that's just like, wow, this is like 1,000 times more than what I thought it was going to be. That's part of that twofold recompense, that restoring of double. He's talking about an entire life, you know?
Yeah, and it's not, it really, again, I was reminded of just like the entering into a new era. When you enter into a new era, it's not a one-time thing. It's not, oh, well, just this one day and that's it. No, it's a completely new time. It's a completely different stage.
It's like this. It's like, oh man, I am so glad. Cedar Point, my favorite amusement park. It's like, oh man, I am so glad. Lord, I'm so glad you finally took me to Cedar Point. That is so awesome. That really was everything I was hoping it would be. That was cool. Thank you. And the Lord's like, you do realize you own it now, right? You know what I mean? It's one of those. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, I own it?
Yeah.
Yes, this is not just like some one-time thing.
Yeah.
Like this, Cedar Point is what I promised you. You don't understand. I promised you Cedar Point. We're thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to get to go to Cedar Point one day. And God was thinking, no, I'm promising you Cedar Point. I'm giving you Cedar Point.
Yeah.
It's yours.
It's very much like Abraham. He was promised Isaac, but really and God promised him generations. And it's like, well, Abraham could just get caught up in the fact like, ooh, I finally got my baby. Of course, he knew that Isaac represented, what it meant. But I think it's similar to that. It's like we see the small and instead of really what God
and that small thing is a big deal. It is a big deal to us. Yeah. That's why we think it's the big thing, but God's like, it's just the beginning.
And really, even for us, like He's told us many times, He's like, this is just the beginning. And I just sit here and think like, wow, this is the start. When you usually start something,
he said July was just a sliver.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's like,
wow, July was amazing.
If this is just the beginning, I can't even begin to imagine what God is going to do. And
that actually can be good.
Yeah.
Because you can be surprised.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And so I don't know, just again, that what God is doing, the fulfillment of these promises is truly only the beginning. It's not whoa, we got our promise and we're good. No, it's like this is the beginning of an adventure of a lifetime. It's
like when Jesus went to the wedding at Cana, and he did that.
He turned the water
to wine. It's like this was his first miracle to display his power. So it's like God's saying, what I'm getting ready to do in your life, this big thing, this breakthrough that you've been promised, at the end of the reward and the end of the wilderness and all that stuff, that's like the beginning of the display of my power in your life. Yes, you're still in the wilderness right now, but it's like once you come out, it's going to just, that first big thing or whatever it is that God, whatever you're believing for or whatever it is that God's promised you, it's like that's just going to be the beginning.
Yeah.
And we know that Jesus, man, he did water to wine is amazing, but man, he went on to do some crazy amazing stuff.
And it really was like, it was the mark of Jesus's ministry.
It was like, all right, here we go.
What he was doing. And so it really is like, I believe, this feast, we always talk about going to the banquet table. It's like this feast for God's people is literally the mark. It's the celebration. It's just like a marriage. That wedding day is celebrating a new era in your life.
Yeah.
A new era in which you're no longer single, you're married. And so these promises, this feast is the mark, is the seal of this is a new era and a new time. Things are never going to be the same again. God told us that before as well. He's like, enjoy this time because things are never going to be the same again.
And he meant like once the breakthrough happens, the promise is fulfilled, all that we've been waiting for. Once that happens, it's never going to be like this again.
Yeah. And it's so, again, you can compare it to, when you're dating. It's like, enjoy that time. Enjoy that getting to know each other time. And then you're going to get married, but it's never going to be the same again like it was when you were dating. And honestly, it's far better, I think, because you actually are getting to live with each other. And
both of them have their value.
They do.
They both have their merit. And it's just, but it's like, I'll take marriage for 500, Alex.
But it's like, I don't know, there's just this sense, really. And I think we've done examples, but I don't know, I just want you guys to grasp the sense of like what God is saying. He is saying it is never going to be the same again. That this time in the wilderness it's been very special to his heart, and he wouldn't trade it for anything.
You're not going back in the mold.
But
the mold's
he's
gonna
like,
be broken.
It's never going to be the same. And it's like, you can be like, ooh, what does that mean? Oh, maybe that's not a good thing. I'm telling you, it is good. What he has for our life is good. This era that we are going into is something we've never seen before. It's completely new. It's unknown, and it is good. And it is going to be amazing.
Right. That's mine right there. You're amazing.
And so it's just, I just want you guys to know that, like, what God is doing is when our promises come to pass, it is literally, it's like the mark. It is a thing to be remembered. We're always going to remember, like, oh my gosh, do you remember that feast day in the spirit? Do you know? Do you remember that?
It's like remembering your wedding. You can't forget your wedding day.
No, it's like, I remember our wedding. It was so awesome. But it marks the beginning of a completely new era and a new unknown, even just walking with the Lord. And there's going to be so many amazing discoveries, I think, and just like, I don't know, I think that God, we're going to see him in a completely new and unbelievable, intimate way. And so I'm so excited, and I love what God is doing, and just everything that he's doing. So I just pray that you guys are blessed, and that this just encourages you guys, and because I know I'm encouraged. I know I'm just so excited for what God is doing.
Like, yay!
And it really, honestly, like, I'm excited for the promises come to pass, but the truth is, I am just excited for what the Lord has. Like, I mean, it's just like, wow. Lord,
it's going to be fun.
Amazing.
While being totally satisfied right now.
Exactly.
Totally satisfied. Just like,
we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm good.
We're good. Yeah, sometimes the grief does pop up every once in a while. I think for the last couple of days for me, it's been kind of a Gethsemane of the soul type of thing, and I'm just like, man, that's just a little Costco sample compared to what Jesus went through. But it's like, I feel you, bro. I feel you. That's what the Lord's saying. He's like, I feel you, man. I know what you're going through. And I'm just like, but you know what, I love you and I trust you, and I'm not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere, so this is as good as done. You know what I mean? Our true life is hidden with you. This is not really our real life anyway. You know, we're just here on mission, and you're just forming and fashioning us, leading us by the Spirit like you did with Jesus, and we're just going to be here until it's time to go home. You know? So all right, guys. Well, we just so appreciate all of you, and we thank you so much for your continued support. And just are so blessed people by each and every one of you. God's amazing, yes, I know, but God uses people to express His amazement. His amazingness. Is that a word? I just made it up. So we just really love all of you guys, and appreciate you. And until next time, we will see you later. Bye-bye. Bye. He is back here snoring. For real. He's like... Bye-bye.